I've gone and got myself a lovely E46 M Sport BMW convertible. I paid a whopping 700 quid for this thing. It's got problems, as they all do, so let's get it fixed and hopefully make a couple quid on this thing. So this is my end of summer purchase. Unfortunately, it's not moved since it's arrived, 3 months later, so I better get on with it. I bought this as an MOT failure. Other than a little scuff and a bit of cleaning work, there's not actually that much to do on this car, so hopefully it's an easy sale for me. What I particularly liked about this E46 was the lack of rust on the arches. I've seen many of these cars before and they're always plagued with rust, but this one looks really tidy. Also, it's the M Sport, it's got better bumpers, better wheels, and in black it looks really good. So let's get to the faults. So the reason I was able to get this car cheap was because under the bonnet we got a pretty bad oil leak. Oil is going down onto the engine block, hitting the exhaust, and then you're getting a lot of smoke coming up in the air. So if I can fix that, I think I'll be able to send it for MOT, get it for an MOT. Also, the rear handbrake needs looking at. We've got one wheel that's sticky and one that doesn't engage with the handbrake at all. So let's take a look at that as well. If you look to the back of the engine bay, you can just see the smoke coming up from the bulkhead. Although it's not huge amounts, it is getting into the cab and you can really get that smell of oil in there. So I'm looking on the top of the engine bay to see if there's anywhere obvious it's coming from. With the engine covers removed, I was able to hunt down the oil leak a bit better, lots more visibility. We've got smoke coming up from the manifold, and above that is an engine vacuum pump. So it looks like that's where the leak's coming from, dropping down onto the manifold. So luckily for me, BMW have put this in a real nice awkward position. You've got 3 bolts holding the pump on. So I used the mirror, I could see what I was doing then and just about squeezed that ratchet down there and got it off. I'd say this took me around 20 minutes. I'm not a great mechanic, so hopefully it'll take you guys a little bit less. But yeah, it's a bit awkward down there. The main problem these vacuum pumps suffer from is the O-rings failing. There's 2 O-rings on this, and BMW sell a kit, or you can buy it on eBay for like a tenner. Being 20 plus years old, the surfaces need cleaning up on the engine and on this part. When you're refitting the O-ring, I suggest putting a little bit of grease on a couple edges. That'll just hold it in place, because when you fit this, that O-ring tends to move about. Using the grease just holds it in place as you fitted it. The new O-ring is actually fitted, got a ton of oil dropped down onto the manifold. Hopefully it clears up in a bit. Hopefully that's done the trick. I'm going to have to put a few miles on the car, but I reckon we might be on to a winner here. With the oil leak done, it was time to do the rear brakes. BMW use a disc and they use a caliper system on this. However, inside that disc, there's actual brake drum shoes. And I'm absolutely terrible at doing them, so it's going to be a right struggle. 2 weeks before Christmas, I come up with a brilliant idea. I decided I'm going to send this to the garage and get them to do it. So that's what I did. Off to A&K Motors. Cheers, boys. So a week later, I got my car back. Come with 12 months MOT, new brake lines, and obviously the rear brakes were serviced, and whatever fault there was there, those guys have sorted it. So thanks to A&K for the MOT, guys. So finally, on to my favourite part, polishing a bit of profit into this car. As I mentioned earlier, this car had been sat for around 3 months outside. Previous to that, it had been sat outside matey's house for about 3 months. So every panel got a good clay bar, and then we polished it up using a bit of colour restorer, and the results were really good. For the soft top, I had to improvise. I had some interior valeting solutions, which I put onto the roof, and then I also used my wet vac. To clean the soft top, I'm told you're not meant to use a jet wash. It will leave lines on it, and also you can end up blowing through the soft top and making stitching coming undone and things like that. So the plan was to spray the interior cleaner on the cloth and then work it in with a brush. Once I started doing this, you could really see the green starting to come up, and yeah, at that point I could use a wet vac, take off the dirt. So here's my finished product. For a 20-year-old vehicle, the paintwork on this car is absolutely awesome. Years of dirt had to be cleaned, and then a paint restorer, and then a bit of wax on top. But the results are really, really good. I've had to wait about a week for the sun to come out just to get the roof down. I'm still yet to drive it in the sun with the roof down. But hey, that's England. It never bloody stops raining, eh? The soft top on this come up really, really well. I'm not recommending that system I've used because I just kind of went with it. It was all I had at the time. I'm going to have to do it again. There's still a bit of green in the roof, but compared to what it was, it's come up really, really nice. Only thing left for me to do now is get some pictures from this and yeah, take it for a spin. All in all, on the road test, I was quite happy with its performance. There's no unwanted knocks or bangs, and everything feels quite solid. For a 20-year-old car, this is really comfortable to drive, and also there's not much noise coming from the roof as well. Some convertibles can be really noisy once you get over 40 miles an hour. There is one thing that lets this car down, and that's its 2-litre petrol engine. Although it's kicking out 150 horsepower, I think the weight of this car is around 1700 kilos. So power to weight ratio, this thing's an absolute donkey. It's good for cruising about, but 0 to 60 is never going to get you there quick enough. I can see why the 3-litre version of this is the one to have. I'm real happy how the car's turned out. It looks really, really good in the pictures. I'm going to hold off until about March to put this up for sale. If I want the best price, I'm going to have to wait. So that is my BMW E46 finally finished and on the road. I think I'm probably going to have this car until about March, April kind of time. It's a convertible, and the best time to sell a car is like spring, summertime. So yeah, I'm going to be holding this for a while. In the meantime, I'm going to have a good drive on it. But if you look at the weather, it's pretty grotty out there. At some point, this rain's got to stop, and I'll finally get to drive this car with the roof down. So I've actually made any money on this car. I paid £700 for the car. £350 to have the rear brakes looked at and some new brake lines plus an MOT, which is a real bargain. Also, I paid £12.50 for the O-ring set for the vacuum pump, £20 for some paint and sanding blocks as well. So yeah, it comes in at £1,080. I think when the sun comes out and I can get top money for this car, I'm probably looking at £2,000 top money, and on a bad day, 1,500. If I just want to shift it, I reckon 1,500 quid. So that gives me a profit of either 400 or 900. So I'll add it on the end of the video when it's eventually sold and let you know what price I actually got. But I think I could have this car until at least April, May sort of time. Thanks for watching, guys, and hit the like and subscribe. And also, my next project, I'll show you. This is Smithy's MX-5. It's been sat here for 2.5 years, so it's about time we got on with it. Who knows how good it's going to be. It's not been used for like a good 10 years, so it's going to take a bit of work.